Hello people and welcome to a new series on this channel with me, Spacefish, and today we are gonna be playing some Kerbal Space Program. Now guys, I've actually tried doing a recording before and unfortunately something went wrong, I don't know, like the screen froze halfway through on the recording only. I don't know what happened there, so we're gonna have to do a new one. Unfortunately, I was looking to show you guys a little bit of my experience after coming back to the game after a bit of time, but right now, well, that's not really that much possible anymore, but I'm still gonna try to do my best to show you guys around a little bit. So let's start a game. In this game, at first, I actually want to start in career mode. In the vanilla game, we might add some mods later on, maybe go for sandbox as well. I'm not quite sure yet, we'll see about that. I'm just gonna start out like I did with the other series, which I named this game to Moon and Beyond. And I chose this flag, which I still like quite a bit. The difficulty options are gonna stay normal, and let's start that game. We are going to overwrite the old one because unfortunately that one doesn't work anymore. Oh well, it does work, but I really want to start out fresh with you guys. Now, let's see. Welcome to the Kerbal Space Center. If you guys want to read that, you can read it. I won't read it all out. I've got that. So, for you guys that don't know what Kerbal Space Program is about, it's basically a, well... It's basically a small, well, not small game, but it's basically a game where you got your own little space program and you're basically trying to get to moons and planets and build space stations, comm networks, whatever, tons of stuff. Now last time I actually played this game was in like 0.6 or something, so I don't really know much about the new features at all. I think I got some features of the science stuff and everything, but that was about it. So everything's still quite new to me again, guys, so if I need a bit of time to find my way in, please, well, I hope you understand that. I hope that's going to be some fun for you guys as well, especially the new ones that are going to try and find a way around this game. So over here we've got our administration buildings. Now, first things first, all these things are upgradable basically. Everything, like upgrading things does different things. Like over here we can increase the vessel size and weight. Over here we can increase the amount of parts allowed, like basic action groups and whatever as well. Runway's gonna increase the size as well. Spaceplane hangar, same thing. Astronaut Complex, what the hell, the camera snaps all the time. Astronaut Complex gives you more Kerbals and whatever. So, well, administration building, it's like where you plan all your campaigns, all the things, as far as I saw last time. We've got the Astronaut Complex over here, which we've got 4 Kerbals already. If we want to hire more, we can go for that, but that costs money. Now, all the astronauts actually by now have specific skills and perks, which is a new thing to me, and I think it's quite cool. For example, over here we've got Jeb, which he's a pilot, and, well, he's got the effects ability assist, and he can control the vessel without being inside the comm net range, which is really nice and important. Now, Bill is an engineer. He's able to repair parts, for example, and then down there, you know, guys, like, the first thing I'm reading out to you, like, this repair parts and provide assistance, like, that's the same for everything, so, like, engineers are capable of repairing broken parts. It's the same for every engineer, same for the pilot, and then the scientist gives you more science out of out of science experiments. Sorry. But then I think, I'm not quite sure, but I think the effects down there, like the increased resource converter efficiency and stuff, I think those are specific to pilots. I'm not quite sure. And you've obviously got like courage and stupidity over here. I'm not quite sure what that actually does. And you've got experience as well, so I guess that improves things. I'm not quite sure, I didn't really get enough experience yet. But that's basically the way around pilots now. Effects look to be the same. I'm honestly not quite sure, guys. There's still science return, parts science return. Okay. Well, these effects might maybe level up with the pilot experience is what I'm thinking, but we'll have to see over the course of the game, guys. we'll have a look at that later. We can't hire any new pilots right now anyways. Then you've obviously got the flagpole, you've got the launch pad, pretty self-explanatory. Mission controls where you take all the missions. Now the first missions I took last time was this one, which was gather scientific data from Kerbal, just crew report, whatever, get some scientific data, which I'm going to take. And then launch our first vessel, which is pretty self-explanatory as well. I'm going to take this one as well. Now I can't take more than 2 at the moment, because if I want to take more contracts I do need to actually upgrade my mission control facility. So that's something we're definitely going to do later on. We get to, last time I actually calculated how much we got out of these contracts. I'm not quite sure here, but I think it was like 6,900. But I actually discovered that after recovering the spacecraft, you actually get some money back for like the salvage and all the parts and whatever. So we're definitely going to earn some money one way or another. So I'm not really too concerned about that. Now, other than that, what else do we have? We've got the research and development where, well, this is like all the things you can research, and they've got like some have 2 parts, some have like 15,000 parts in them, like heavy aerodynamics, experimental aerodynamics. So you can research all this stuff and you need science for it, and you gain science by, well, doing experiments, doing crew reports, flying all about the place, exploring, using specific modules, whatever. So, well, there's quite some things for us to do in this game, and I'm really looking forward to it, because as far as I can tell it got even more exciting than last time, and I've always loved KSP, so I'm really excited about the series, and I hope some of you guys are as well, because I think this series will be quite fun to us. I really hope so. I really hope you guys are gonna enjoy this. Now over here we've got the tracking station, which basically we can see our ongoing missions, debris, whatever. We can recover spacecraft and that landed on Kerbal. We can see stranded astronauts, whatever the case may be. Now this over here is Kerbal. It's basically an Earth-like planet where these little green people live on. Like, they're called Kerbals. The planet itself is called Kerbal. Now these little green people you guys just saw in the astronaut selection there, the ones that live on this planet, just as I said. Now over here you've already got different biomes, like you've got the grasslands, you've got like deserts, and you've got the Arctic poles and all that good stuff. So there's tons of stuff to explore on this planet already. You can get quite some science from the planet as well. You can actually get some science out of the ocean, out of all the different biomes basically. So we're definitely, once we have researched planes and everything, we're definitely going to have a look around here as well. Now, sorry, excuse me guys. Now, other than that, if you zoom a little bit out, over here you've got the moon, which is basically the same thing as the moon in real life. It's just Kerbal's moon, and, well, you can go explore it. There's tons of stuff on there. Then, other than that, you've got Minmus, which is an ice moon, which, well, orbits Kerbal as well. If you zoom out even further, you've got all the different planets over here, which, like, Elo is the furthest one out, and you've got Joe, you've got Dre's. Did I zoom out too far? Yeah, I did. You've got Duna, you've got Kerbal, you've got Eve, you've got Mono, you've got the Sun, obviously. And they've all got tons of moon, tons of stuff, like some sculptures and some weird, like, monoliths and whatever on there, so you can explore tons of stuff, have tons of fun. You can build space stations everywhere, and I'm really looking forward to that. There's tons of content ahead of us, and even if it may ever end, which I think would take ages to ever end, we can still mod stuff, do 15,000 other things. So yeah, definitely quite some fun to be had over here, guys, I think. Now, whoa, okay, that took a second to load there. I think other than that I pretty much covered everything on here. Now let's actually go over those contracts and hop into the VAB, which is basically where we assign the rockets. This is Werner von Kerman. What the hell? I already didn't manage to speak that name properly in the first part, guys, and I just didn't manage to do it right now either. I don't even know why. Very professional, I guess. So, once again, if you guys want to read that, you can pause it real quick. I'm just going to skip it. Now, the basic part of a rocket is always the Mark 1 command pod. Well, not always the Mark 1 command pod, but basically a command pod with a little Kerbal sit in. This one only has space for one of them, I think. Now, the thing I was actually not quite sure on last time, guys, maybe if you guys got more of a clue than me, you could write that into the comments, that would be really nice. The thing is, at the very beginning we don't have any heat shields, and I know there is heat in the game by now. And I'm really not sure if this capsule actually comes with a heat shield pre-equipped or not. So, like, because the thing is, I don't think I'm able to actually properly research the heat shields early on. So I'm kinda scared I might have to sacrifice a Kerbal to get more science. I don't even know, like, I'm really scared my rocket will explode on the second time up when I actually try to go to space. So if you guys actually know if there's a heat shield on this thing or not, I would be really grateful for that information, because I'm really not sure. Now, other than this command pod, we actually need an engine, which we're just going to use the Flea solid booster. Now, ooh, that's some lag. What the hell is that lag about that? Let's try and zoom out, do something. Nope, lag's gonna lag. Okay, cool. I'll be right back, guys. Alright guys, I'm really sorry for the lag. We're back right now, but I'm really not sure what all this lag's about. I just swapped the recording to the other hard drive again. Now it works again. I don't even know what this is about. It's kind of weird that I'm having this lag at all. I'm really gonna have to sort that out. Sorry for that, guys. I'm like, I've looked into this, but I'm not really sure what's causing these problems. Maybe Fraps is just being weird. I'm not quite sure. But I promise to find out somehow in the future, guys. Now, let's continue. Now, the first thing we obviously, well, we don't obviously need it. It might work without those, but for another thing I really want to put on there is the basic fins. They don't really cost much anyways. Now, with C, guys, you actually like snap to angles, and with X you multiply how many parts you actually want around. Like, what's that called? Cycle symmetry count. Yeah, whatever. Like, I'm gonna put 3. I feel that's gonna be quite fine. I've got all the things like aerodynamic overlay, center of mass, center of thrust. Yeah. Which I don't really need right now, but I just wanted to show that to you guys real quick. Anyways, now over here, if we go to science, we've got the mystery goo containment unit, which is basically our first device to do experiments with and gain science with. Now, last time I actually made the mistake of only putting 1 on the rocket, which in the end caused me only being able to get science right there on the launch pad, because these don't like you can't use those multiple times. I'm not sure if you can, if you transmit data. I think you can't either, but you can definitely not use them multiple times without communication devices, and I don't have any. So the issue was that I only got like signs over here, not signs over here, so I missed out on some signs on the first flight. So I'm definitely going to put 2 here to get some extra science. I think I'm going to put 1 here and the other one here so we don't cover up the logo on the rocket, which is over here. Now, a thing I mentioned as well last time I tried this recording, guys, was that I'm actually going to have a look if I can put my logo on here as a flag. I think that would be really cool. I've not quite looked into this as well, but I will definitely do before the beginning of next episode. So let's see if that works. That will be really cool if I could just have my own logo on these flags I'm planting all around, because I'm definitely going to plant quite a few. Now, the last thing we definitely need is a parachute, because obviously we do want to save our Kerbal and not let him die at all. Now, this rocket is not going to get us very far, guys. The solid fuel booster, I can even control it. It's just like basically a one-time burning thing. That's basically it. One-time burning booster. So it burns and then it's done. I can't regulate any thrust or whatever, so we're just gonna get like to like 6,000-7,000 meters, maybe no space today. But I am gonna add a separate stage over here, guys. I actually didn't remember that last time. I just barely fixed that on the launch pad. So like we're actually gonna ignite the solid fuel booster at first, and then afterwards, once it's actually flamed out, we're opening the parachute. Other than that, last time the thing I named this rocket was Leroy Jenkins Mark 1. I think I'm gonna keep it that way because that's very fitting for, well, a Kerbal basically sitting on a, I don't know how many liters, but like tons of explosives burning like right under his arse, so yeah, I think that's very fitting. I am actually going to replace those a little bit because I don't quite like the placement on them. I want them to clip through there. Yeah, that looks a bit better. Now let's actually save this. I'm just gonna... Oh, what the... God dang it, good thing I saved that one. I'm actually going to save all the rockets I'm building in KSP because, well, I want to have them to remember, and maybe I'm going to reuse them once or twice, and we'll see. If they work out really well, this might be a thing to do. Now we do have to care about the crew. Jeb is in here right now. Could add Valentina as well, but I think this thing was rather safe actually. Nothing exploded, everything was fine, so I'm going to keep Jeb. Now if you guys don't know and are new to this game, basically Jeb, Bill and Bob were the first 3 Kerbals you got for like the first few years the game was actually out there. And well, you were just able to fly those, so they're kind of special to the older Kerbal Space players, and nobody really wants to lose them. Now, I'm not sure if you can actually lose them right now, or if they do. Like, I think once there was like the thing that they respawn when they died, but I really don't want to lose them, so if I have the feeling anything's going to be risky, I'm just going to recruit a new Kerbal over there, wherever the recruitment thing was, and use him instead, because, well, those are kind of special. Well, Valentina, she was like the first female Kerbal Space Program pilot, I think, but she's really not of that much interest to me. Not like in any bad way for all the women out there or anything, she's just not really a very special part of Kerbal Space Program as far as I know, at least. But we're going to keep Jeb in here just so he gains some experience. This is probably going to be rather safe anyways. That's what he said before the rocket exploded, right? Well, let's go and find out. Let's head out to the launch pad. Nice little transition music as well right there. Alright, so this is the launch pad as it is right now, as we didn't upgrade it or anything. I'm actually not quite sure. I've still really got a feeling that this launch pad is something they might have actually moved over from like the really first parts of the game, because I really have the feeling that at the very beginning, like when they started developing the game, the launch pad looked just like that. Over here you can see Kerbal Space Center. I'm gonna have the look around once we're actually up in space, guys. Now, the first thing I want to do is observe the mystery goo down here, see what it does. The goo doesn't seem to be doing much right now. So like the principle behind the goo is basically it's just like a random goo, but it observes the environment situation. So if you move, it jiggles. If it's very cold, it's freezing, or it looks to be cold, something like that. You'll see about that, guys. Some of these quotes are really funny sometimes, some of them are just like usual stuff. Now if we are going to keep that data, we can get the full science. Do we actually get the full science? I'm not quite sure. That looks like we're not getting the full science because we don't have a scientist, maybe. I think that's probably what it is. But we don't, like, we can only stuff one Kerbal in here, so we're going to use Jeb in here. If we would transmit this with a comm device, which we don't have anyways, we would lose like tons of science. So on these modules, I'm probably never going to do that. Now, the other thing I want to do is I want to EVA Jeb real quick. While he's just hanging on here to the ladder, I'm going to do an EVA report. I don't think a spacesuit was entirely necessary to get us here, was it? No. Probably not. Now these things, if you do transmit them, you don't lose any data. I think maybe if the scientist does those, you can gain more data as well. Maybe not. It doesn't really look like it, so I assume that's like the maximum amount of data we can get. We'll see in the future. Let's keep that. Well, God, let's keep that data. Now you do have a little jetpack on those Kerbals, but that one doesn't really work on the planet, so I'm not going to try that out right here. I'm just going to board again. Another really cool thing I want to show you guys. Wait, before I show you guys, I'm going to do the crew report, which we get another 1.5 science down here. Keep that. And another thing, like one thing first, this is quite new. You can turn the lights on, which I think, especially on the larger pods, is gonna be like super cool. So yeah, we'll see about that in the future. And I'm getting lag. What the hell? I'm really sorry, guys. I don't know what my fraps is up to. My frames are dropping up and down and up and down. I'll be right back with you. Alright guys, we're back for another try for the recording right now. It does look a bit bitter. Yeah, that works right now. Sorry guys, I really don't know what this is about. Like, my recording hard drive acts like really weirdly right now. I'm only getting 9 FPS. So I'm forced to move this recording to my like main hard drive where this game runs on, and that just proved to be a bit laggy a second ago. Now it works, so I hope that it's going to stay that way right now. Now the first thing I wanted to show you guys is the lights that you can turn on in these little pods with that, which I think is quite cool. I think that's going to look quite nice. But the other thing I discovered the last time is down here, if you go right here, you've got the interior overlay. And that's like so super cool. They've, like, I don't recall them introducing that while I was playing, so that's quite new to me. Now over here you've got your Rcs tanks, which I think is really neat. He's sitting on that oxygen tank down there, which through this tube is feeding oxygen through a vent up here, and you see like all the little details in that pod. You see his little thing console right there. So I really like that, and I think that's quite cool. Now last time I discovered that sounded a bit more emotional, but I really like it. I'm wondering what it's going to look like on the bigger pods, the space planes, whatever. That's probably going to be super cool. We're going to have a look for that, definitely. Now let's get that fixed again so it looks properly, and let's actually finally head out to space after tons of trouble and have some fun up in space. I'm gonna do another countdown right here as I did last time, because I think for a first launch that is quite fitting. I think I do need to remember is to turn my SAS on, which SAS is basically stability control, so you've got a little wheel in here, well, or multiple wheels in here, which are keeping the craft stable. I don't have any RCS thrusters, and I'm not going to use those at all. So let's do a little countdown. We're going to start in 3, 2, 1, and lift off. Now this is going really freaking quick, guys, because like this craft is super light, and there's this rocket on here which has actually got quite some thrust to it. Now we're actually shooting up into the air really freaking fast. I'm gonna observe the second mystery goo over here because we're a bit higher. The goo jiggles and wobbles as craft lies. Now we do get quite some signs out of this, but still not the full signs because we don't have the scientists on board with us, unfortunately. Now we're up here. Down there is Kerbal Space Center, actually getting up like to, yeah, we're gonna make 9,000 meters. Super cool. Now the first things we've got over here is we've launched our first vessel, which is really nice. We've got some rewards for that one, and another one. I think this one was an achievement goal and the other one was probably the contract. That's what it is. Last time I was really wondering how I got tons of money out of the first mission, but then I saw all these like a milestone. So you get milestones for when you achieve certain things. We've performed an EVA test, we've broken a speed record, launched our first vessel, we've broken another speed record, altitude record, speed record, altitude record, another altitude record. So we actually got like tons of money out of this, and I do need to open my parachute. Holy! I hope that's not going to rip apart. Oh god, guys. Oh god, I'm scared. Don't rip, don't rip, don't. Told you that was going to happen because I said it's safe, isn't it? This rocket is totally safe. My Kerbal's not going to die. Yeah, sure. Now the other thing I noticed over there last time was this little black dot over there. I'm really not sure what that's about, but we're going to have to explore it someday. Maybe build like just a little rover and drive over there, I don't know. I actually forgot to show you this island over there, guys. It's got an airstrip on it as well. Last time it looked like that actually changed, like the visuals of it changed. So we're definitely, once we've got planes, we're going to have a look over there and see what it's all about, if they maybe did some changes to it. Now we did touch down okay, not super smooth, but totally okay. everything's fine, Jeb survived, we've got all the science we could possibly get, and now we're gonna start recovering the vessel. So that's gonna give us some good science, actually a bit more science than the last time even. We were getting 18.9 science, and I'm still not sure, but guys, if any of you know this, we're not just getting science, we're actually getting data as well. And then like science down here, I'm really not sure, because like I'm really not sure what all of this data is about. Like, I can't tell you guys. And would be of quite some interest to me, to be honest. Like, can we sell that data? Can we do anything with it? I don't know. Our reputation over here went up a bit from that flight as well, guys. Now let's go next. We are getting all that money from the rocket back as well. Like, not all the money, but basically like the value of the empty or used parts, like half of the value of a mystery goo, like the parachute. Oh, we're getting the full value of the parachute. Yeah, I guess you can fold that back in, but it's still used. Get money. Oh, we're actually getting fuel money back as well. We're getting command part value. Flea boosters still full value. But yeah, we used all the fuel at least, so that's gone. I do think this is still quite generous though. Well, I'm getting some good money back. I like it. Now, Jeb gained 1 XP. I'm not really sure how much he needs to level up, but it's cool that he's got 1. We'll see when he levels up what that does for us. Didn't gain any of this reputation, but we gain total reputation. Oh, I guess we gain reputation once a pilot levels up as well. Then like total reputation from the flight. What's something else we got with achievements and stuff? Alright, let's click done, and now over here we've got 28.9 science, and we're going to go into R&D, and we're going to go into basic rocketry, and we're definitely going to research this, because this gives us our first liquid fuel engine, which we can actually control. It gives us some solid fuel boosters, and another fuel tank, so we're going to go and research that. We've still got 23.9 science. I definitely want this engineering thing, because it gives me a thermometer, it gives me a communitron, so an antenna. This one's for experiments as well, by the way. This one's a stack decoupler, so I can actually decouple different sections of the rocket, which is super cool. And I think this one was a passive antenna. I'm not quite sure about that. Surface mount version. I think it was passive at one point. Maybe it is not passive anymore. I'm really not sure, to be honest, guys. But we're definitely going to research this. Now, we've still got 18.9 science left, and as opposed to the last time, that actually allows us to research even more. So we can research the general rocketry, but I'm not super keen on that right now, to be honest. We can go for stability, which does give us a radial decoupler, which is quite nice. So we could actually put some solid fuel boosters on the sides of the rocket, which would actually enable quite a bit for us. Or we could do this. Oh god, I'm really not sure, guys. I'm actually not sure if the pod has got a heat shield or not. And as I'm not sure, guys, I am actually going to go for this one just in case. I'm going to research this after, and maybe I'm going to be super mad afterwards because I'm going to discover that I actually didn't need the heat shields at all. But this is the safe thing to go for, and I'm going to go for it. It also gives us the barometer, which is like super nice, I think. Well, barometer is useful, gives us more science. Landing struts already, okay, cool. Radiator panel is okay. It's just heat. Again, I'm not quite sure what I would use that for, but okay. We've got a drogue chute already, a bigger drogue chute, and we've got a service bay. Okay. Okay. I'm not quite sure what that's about right now. Now, I actually want to have a look at this before I end the recording for today, guys. Let's just do a new one real quick, because I really want to know what this service bay is about. I really don't know that one yet. So this is the service bay. Looks like an empty tank, basically. I can open it, and that's it. Okay. Alright, I guess. Now, with the reusability of rockets, I'm actually wondering, guys, maybe I would actually want to put some parachutes in all the parts that I am jettisoning, so I can actually gain some money out of that in the future, like, so I don't actually, like, trash all the money by stuff exploding all over the place. Might be a good idea to do. But, yeah, we've got that thing. I don't think we've got any RCS fuel and stuff yet. Oh, we've actually... No, that's not an SAS. SAS should be here. We've got nothing to protect with that, so that's really useful. Maybe we could do, like, put our science experiments in here. I'm really not quite sure. Well, it doesn't look to be working too well. But we'll see, later on, guys. I hope you all enjoyed this first episode of Kerbal Space Program in the career mode on the vanilla patch of Kerbal Space Program. If you did enjoy this series, please be sure to like, leave me a comment or subscribe. Hope you guys had some great fun, and I'll see you all next episode.